So basically this is what happened. Welcome everyone, welcome. So one of my players from the team in mods got accused of map hacking or hacking, I don't know what. So the guy messages me. I got a message from one of my clanmates from about Cutie Club members. Not sure if you saw my stream, but I busted someone for map hacking in base trade TV amateur tournament, and the admins disqualified him. The reason I'm bringing this up is he played another one of our clanmates, Costas, asked Costas to review these replays, and sure enough, there was even more evidence. Costas then informed me that the hacker is part of Beastie Cutie's clan. He even butchered my name, so you get even more minus points for that. Blah, 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 and that's it. I'm just gonna ask him if he's here so he can watch as well. So basically, the guy linked me replays, gave me timestamps of the hacks and stuff, and I'm gonna go through them now. I quickly skimmed through replays, and a lot of the points he made are just like, no. But I'm gonna go through every single point that he made. Some of them he said, oh, there was no way he saw that, but there was literally a scan in your medevacs as you were moving out to drop. So maybe pay attention when you're busting up map hackers. Now, again, I'm not mad at anyone. I'm not blaming anyone. Mistakes happen. We're gonna go through this together. I'm gonna explain this from my point of view, the way I see it, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, he's not here, so someone can just link him this after I'm done. So let's watch this one. Now, hold on, just one thing. So it's very important to note that about a week or two ago, I gave like a 30-minute lesson to Protislaus how to position his units, how to move his units, and he took that very well. Good job. Okay, so this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go quickly through his points, or not quickly, I'm gonna go through his points one by one and go to the timestamps and so on. There's quite a lot of them, so let's get started. So, game 1, Acid Plant. Okay, so at 202, which is where we're gonna go straight there. Miscellaneous Strange. Protislaus moves his camera to my natural, which his SCV has already scouted. It appears on his minimap. There's no in-game reason for him to move his camera to this location. A possible accuser explanation is that he wished to check the progress of my command center. Okay, so let's go to 202. And we look from Protislaus' point of view. He did scout the natural. He goes back to it. That's it. That's one of his points, that it's strange. I don't know why that's strange. Sometimes I take a double look, like, oh, did I saw that? When I scout the enemy base and I see a robo, I'm like, ah, was it Stargate? I go back to it, and yeah, I don't think that was hack, right? Another point I want to bring up in this whole replay. So there's a lot of, oh, he scanned me, but then he saw this after. Why is he scanning if he's hacking? Also, if he scans, why does he take a double take right after when he can look before the scan? Doesn't make sense to me, but let's just keep going. It's 315. Possible luck, his single Reaper takes an optimal path to avoid my 2 Reapers, killing the SCV, building a bunker, and thereby scouting my main base. This is what happens. This is what happens. So, Proti has a Reaper right here. He's patrolling the Reaper back and forth between the 2 locations where the enemy Reaper is the most common to go between. Now what happens? He waits. You can see he's moving it back and forth, moving it back and forth. Keeping an active tab on it, he keeps going to the Reaper. Again, if he was hacking, what the fuck would you waste your APM going to the Reaper if you know where the opponent Reaper are? right? You can do more useful things with it. So now he sees there's no opponent's Reapers. Now this is the advice that I gave to people when I coached on stream and off stream. The moment your factory lands and swaps and your CC is close to finishing, that's when you send your Reaper across the map, because there's no, like, even if the enemy Reaper comes when your Reaper's out on the map, doesn't matter, because the CC is going to finish, Helens are going to come out, or Cyclones, or whatever you're making. So Proti right now, let's look. So this is the moment, 3:15. Okay, the Reaper goes in, and you probably, like, don't see anything wrong with this, right? And he kills the bunker. Now, the argument is that Protislaus knew where the opponent's Reaper were, and he specifically dodged them. Now, if we think about this, he didn't stay here and waited for Reapers to move. He literally sent the Reaper from here straight into the base. So now we're gonna watch from full map point of view. The Reaper goes in. This Reaper happens to just move at that point, but you can see this Reaper is already committed. He can't know in advance when the Reaper's gonna move. So this was just a lucky / unlucky timing. He goes in, the Reapers are here. He kills the SCV. That's it. How many times did it happen to me on stream where I'm like annoyed to shit, where I'm waiting, and the moment I move, the Reaper goes in? Do you think everyone was hacking then as well? No. It just happens. It's StarCraft. There is a lot of luck involved, whether you like it or not. Again, why would he constantly check between the Reaper if he was hacking? He would know that the Reapers are here, he has nothing to worry about. Anyway, that's one of the points as well. 4:05. So Protislaus loses the Reaper, and then at 4:05, let's speed up. It says Miscellaneous Strange moves his camera to my base. A possible explanation is that he wished to check what his Reaper scouted, but this occurs 26 seconds after his Reaper is killed, so it is indeed a bit strange. A possible acoustic explanation is that he saw another structure being built in my base on his minimap, and he moved his camera there to verify that it is a starport. Okay. So this is the moment. Now, again, you guys that are watching my stream, I did this 1 billion times where I scout something and then I go look again because I wasn't sure what I saw, right? Sometimes you go back, you check like, oh, what are the add-ons like? I missed it. What can you do out of this? So what they're saying is he moved there to see the starport. Now, let's take some StarCraft Diamond and Up advice. At this point in the game, the only building you would be building is the starport. You're not going to be building a second factory. The build like that does not exist, right? He would not be adding a second barrack. So the only building to add is the starport. So if he was hacking, why would you be checking in the fog of war what building it is? It's a fucking starport. I think everyone knows that. That's Diamond and Up is Terran. So that kind of like logic. Oh, he was checking for start. What else could it be? Fucking Ghost Academy? Maybe he was checking, was this a tech lab? Maybe it was a reactor. I don't know. Oh, wait. I go back and I check like, oh, it's a tech lab. He might switch it with starport. That's what you do. Did that many times. You can check any of my VODs. You'll see I do this very often. Again, to call it weird, or like he's looking at my starport. No, he was looking at your buildings. Let's go back again. If you look at his point of view, 4:05 exactly. He's like, starport is here. He's looking at your fucking factory and barracks. Anyway, next 4:50, inexplicable. Protislaus scans my main base but scrolls his camera to my natural outside of his... Oh, hold on. Missed it. Scrolls his camera... Oh my god, what? I thought it's paused. Protislaus scans my main base but scrolls his camera to my natural outside of his scan range.
Poggers.
There's no reason to ever scroll your camera outside of scan range, especially in this case, where his in-game information is that I have expanded. There is no need to double check that I do, in fact, have a CC on my natural. So let's look at a moment. Protishlas. Okay. Again, wait, Proti, why are you moving that Hellion here? Let me ask you this, Proti. Okay, I busted you. Why are you moving this Hellion here, scouting, if you already know everything that's going on? Right? Are you just that good at covering the map hacks? Why are you doing all these useless movements if you know what the opponent is doing? Come on, dude, we busted you. But let's look. So 450, he scans. Right? He sees starport. And another question. Let me ask you this. So 45 seconds ago, you said that he looked in your base to check if the building is starport. So why the fuck did he just scan again 40 seconds later if he knew there was a starport? I mean, if you're hacking, you might as well drop mules, I feel like. Doesn't... Or maybe Proti is just dumb. It's like, you saw it's a starport, dude. Why are you wasting a scan? Anyway, so this is the argument. He scanned, and then he moved his army to the natural. His view to the natural. Okay? So again, the argument here is that his army was here, so Proti was moving the camera from the main to look at the army. I'm going to ask again. If he knew the army was there, why wouldn't he just fucking drop a scan here, then see both army and the production buildings? Or why didn't he just scan the natural, if he already knew what was in the main base? What kind of logic is that? Like, hello? What kind of fucking logic is that? If I was a hacker, right, and I'm like, oh, okay, I know he has a starport, I know he has 2 tanks, I'm not gonna scan. Or, if I'm stupid hacker, I would be like, dude, I know he has a starport, I know he has 2 tanks, but I'm gonna scan here so I can catch both tanks in production. Why would you scan here and then obviously pretend you, or look at the army if you were hacking? To me, that doesn't make sense. But let's move on. 523. Miscellaneous Strange. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. 523 builds a turret on the side of his main base alongside his 3 Cyclones. His other 4 Cyclones and Hellion, check this logic, are positioned in perfect position for incoming drops. Possible explanation is that his scan revealed a naked starport and a suspected drops or liberator harassment. However, it also stands to reason that I can make a frontal assault with Marine Tank Viking, something which is not well equipped for. So what he's saying is, why does he have units preparing for drops? It's because he knows that I'm not doing a frontal attack. So if he knows you're not doing a frontal attack, and if he knows you're in your main base, then why the fuck are these units here in the first place? If he knows that you're not dropping, why is he making a turret? Why is he making Cyclones here? That's right. Doesn't make sense, doesn't it? Of course, in game I have Medevacs, and he has correctly guessed this positioning for drop defense instead of frontal assault. Excuse me. Do you have any medevac on the map right now? Any medevac? How does he know that this medevac is gonna drop instead of move to the front, assuming he's hacking and he knows there's a medevac? What kind of logic is that exactly? Because I'm not following. I don't know. If I was hacking, I would put my army here AFK and then move wherever I need to be in the last moment, or I would intercept the army in the middle or something like that. No, he's playing very safe. He only guesses and prepares correctly. This is a pattern that will repeat for the rest of the series. Okay, small advice. When you go this build, and this is what I coach to Proti on stream, when you go for triple CC, at this point you have a lot of minerals while you're producing cyclones and gathering this double gas very early for extra factories. And this is what I do in my games, which again, you can check out on YouTube, you can check out on VOD, is where I guess he picked it up from. I also do these kinds of turrets, and I also keep cyclones in the main base, because at this point in the game, because you had barracks and factory, you probably have starport, because that's the 1-1-1 build. It's very common. So, yes, if you did a frontal attack here and sieged up, he would be in trouble. That's why you put this Hellion in front of the base, which is what I always do in my games. He didn't do it, but that's what you do. So then there's no frontal attack, and the only place your opponent can attack you is through drops, which is why you put cyclones like these. And as you're getting a third base, you start building another 1 or 2 missile turrets here, 1 or 2 missile turrets here, and then you move the cyclones to the third to prepare for the frontal attacks while having the Hellion in the front, because you don't want to get dropped as a meching player. Let's move on. Little bit of a tips and advice, coaching for free. Furthermore, at 546, he begins building 2 turrets in the natural. Coincidentally, this is the exact moment that I'm loading my 2 medevacs, which he has not seen. So let's check that. Let's check that real quick. Let's pause the moment he places the turrets. Bam! That's a turret. So he is saying that Proti is making these 2 turrets because he was loading the medevacs. Your medevacs literally just loaded up. Proti is a master player. This is like Maru level reaction to be like, oh my god, medevacs are being loaded on the map, let me instantly build 2 turrets. Okay, 545 is when turret is made. Let's look when you loaded the medevacs. You loaded them. Where's this is the first one, the second one's gonna come. Let's even say 535. So he didn't look in your base to see the loaded medevacs, which you've been saying that that's how he's seeing your stuff in Fog of War. So how does he know that the medevacs are loaded now? Are you saying there's another hack that he doesn't need to look on the screen on your side of the map to see it? But then if he has that, why was he looking in your base earlier? Okay. I wonder what will happen next. I'm guessing he's built... Let me just use my game knowledge that I've kind of gathered over the years. So, I'm feeling, personally, what's going to happen is he's going to put 2 turrets and then move on to the third base. But this is just a stupid guess. Let's see. I would have never guessed it. I would immediately say he's hacking. Because that's not how you play this build. You don't... Not like I said, you do build missile turrets earlier as you're moving to the third, which again, you can see on every VOD that I did of Terran. Because I played this build a fuck ton, plus I coached Proti a week or 2 ago on these exact things. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. 612, possible luck. I scan his base. This can be a scan to certain whether it's going bio or mech, or it can be a scan to scout the best drop path for my medevacs. If you're scouting if you're scanning, oh yeah, your medevacs are on the way. Okay. Note that his cyclones are already in perfect position to sandwich my drop. So he has a turret and 3 cyclones. You're not gonna drop here because there's 2 missile turrets. Oh, look at that! Wait. Did I mention earlier with this build that you put a Hellion in front of opponent's base to see for the frontal attack? So let's use logic. If you can't attack the front, which would be this way or this way, and there's 2 turrets this way, where can my opponent attack? Oh yeah, it's right here. It's right here. Wait, hold on. If he was hacking, why didn't he just kill your medevacs here? Look at this. He sees you scan, like he is looking at it. If someone scans my base like this, I immediately move these units to a better position and move these units to a better position. Like, that's a 101 TVT I'm scanning to doom drop the Terran. That's literally a common gaming knowledge. So medevacs come in. You try to go in, you see there's cyclones, you go around. These cyclones are AFK for like 5 seconds. And then he goes around, because using the logic, you're probably gonna be going right or bottom. He chooses the right side, you go right, he catches your medevacs. I don't know what was suspicious there. But okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, so hold on. Here you say he reacts by moving the cyclones in the main and cyclones in the third toward the drop path of my medevacs. These cyclones have been AFK here the whole time, and these cyclones are moved from here to here. Path of your medevacs is here. So this is what happens. You do a scan, he sees the scan, and what he does is he moves the cyclones, just like I said, into a position to defend the drops better, because that's how TVT works. And then the other side, he moves them a little bit. He even misses them. He sees them the second time because he was dropping a mule. So he was even late to respond to that, even though he saw them here initially. And then you end up losing your 2 medevacs. Anyway. Strange. Scans 650. Let's look at that. Scans army at my natural and sees third tucked in back corner. This is completely normal, but I want to demonstrate a pattern here. Which will be perpetrated throughout this game. I don't know if I butchered that word. And then repeated in the next game. His scans are successful almost every single time. And then repeated in the next game. His scans are... oh no, I just read that twice, I'm dumb. Nationally, he will use scans almost exclusively as his means of scouting after the initial SCV Reaper, SCV/Reaper scout, and in game 1 he sends a Hellion to my natural. He has no map presence whatsoever with his army throughout the series. Okay, quick little advice. You cannot have map presence other than Hellions with this build, because you cannot send one cyclone here, 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 because you're going to have 0 cyclones in your main base. So sending a Hellion in front of the base and making sure that there's no frontal attack is all you need, because you can defend the rest with the cyclones. That's why you build that many. So what is the... So what is your argument? He scans. Okay, let's see. He scans. He sees your third, so he literally has all the info. You said he exclusively scans where he needs to. Where would you want him to scan? Like here? There's nothing there. He's gonna scan your natural to see your army. That's how you do it. You just happen to catch the site of the command center. So here he sees tanks, and then at 7:22 he sends a Hellion to my third, which arrives as the CC is about to land. So he sends a Hellion, probably wanting to see which of the thirds you're taking. Again, let me ask you, if he's hacking and if he has the whole vision, why is he sending a Hellion to see where your third is? What kind of argument is that? So there's the CC going. He sends the Hellion. By the way, that Hellion is going here. It's not going to your third. He moves, okay. Sees the third. He made sure, okay, this is where you're expanding. Whoa. Again, I literally, not one thing to me so far is like, oh, this is suspicious. No. You know what suspicious is? That Proti is actually wasting this many scans. You don't need to scan this much. I don't even scan at all in TVT. And I don't remember anyone accusing me of hacking. I've had games where enemy would be dropping here, and I would just drop a scan on top of his medevacs. It happens. Comes down from experience. Doesn't mean that someone is hacking. But all these things so far are just game knowledge. Has nothing... The Reaper one was luck. Everything else was, or is, easily explained. 836. Again, he sends another Hellion to see the frontal attack. What is the 836? Scans army at my third. His scouting Hellion saw a small group of biomedevac and 2 unsiege tanks and my third was floating over. For all he knows, I was moving out to attack while I took my third base, a common tactic. The pattern continues. Though my army is at the natural, he scans it. Okay, let me give you a quick advice. If you're on 2 base, your army is on the natural, which is why he scans on the natural. Now you're on 3 base, so you're not going to keep your army in the natural, because that's stupid. You keep your army at the third, which is why he scans army at the third, to make sure that your army is still there and he's not getting attacked, as he's setting up the sensor tower in the top right. Where do you, like, honestly, where do you expect him to scan? Like, do you expect him to scan here? He saw your third is here. Why would you keep your army in the main? He saw your bio. Like, I don't understand this logic. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't understand this logic. Like, where do you randomly, like, scan here? No, you scan where you saw the army the last time. At the third. So he scans, he's like, okay, there's your army. He has a Hellion here, again, for the frontal attack. He should probably split his Hellions more. That's his mistake. He should put one Hellion Proti, put one Hellion here next time, one here, and one here, to make sure that the army's not going around. Now, the next thing. 845. This is what a missed scan looks like. Oh, this is gold. I saw this during, before I turned on the stream. So, this is what a missed scan looks like. Mine. I'm trying to locate his army and or check upgrades. As I know, I have to check the mech player soon. That's not correct. What are you checking for? You know he's meching, but what do you, like, if you scan and you see he's 1-1, that doesn't change anything. It's not like you're like, oh shit, he's 1-1, I gotta do this. No. You don't need to scan his army. He's mech, he's going tanks, he's going Vikings. Your scan was away, it's just like a lot of his scans as well. His camera positioning sees that he's being scanned, but he does not react to this whatsoever, unlike the incident at 612. It would be perfectly reasonable to fear a single or double drop just outside of his sensor tower range. I'm gonna blow your mind just now. To his undefended natural, a normal response would be to send the unit to the perimeter of the sensor tower range to verify there is no incoming attack. Okay. Alright, so let's look at a scan. This is a scan you're talking about. First of all, I'm sorry to say, but this scan is terrible. Okay? I'll explain why. He got lucky here, that he had absolutely no units moving through this area. Because there's usually like a tanker here too. So that was unlucky for you. But why wouldn't you just scan the third? There has to be units on the third for the reasons I just explained. It's your last base, that's where you put your units. So this was unlucky for you, there were absolutely no units. Are you now saying that he knew you were gonna scan there, so he moved the army out of the way? Like, or you're trying to make, oh sorry, you're trying to make a point that he scanned like previously in the main base, which you said he was hacking, but now you're saying that if since you scanned, he should move his army into position. But earlier, that's what he did, and you said he was hacking. But the point stands. Why didn't he move the army here when he saw you got scanned? All right, there's a fucking Hellion right here. Right here. This one. This one. He knows your army's here. He just fucking scanned. What are you gonna attack him with? Your whole army's here. And there's a Hellion. What? Are you crapping army out of nowhere? You can't have 200 supply at this point. Why would he move his army? He fucking sees there's nothing. He also has a sensor tower. The worst that can happen is 8 Marines show up and he's gonna run you over with Cyclones. I'm losing my mind? No, I'm just triggered because these hacks is just common knowledge. This is not, like, if he moved his Vikings here and killed 5 of your medevacs, that's like, I don't know, dude. But everything he's doing is common knowledge. Like, you even said now, why didn't he move his army? He just fucking scanned your army. He knows you're here. What do you mean? And again, if he's hacking, why the fuck is he scanning your army? That doesn't make any sense. Like, literally 0 sense. But let's move on. Let's move on. Possible luck. 907. Okay. This one is a fun one. "907. He scans my army at the 3rd base again and again. Why is he scanning if he's hacking? Again at the moment that I'm boosting my 2 medevacs away for a drop on the right side of the map. His camera barely catches one of the medevacs at the perimeter of the scan range. At 9:14, he sends his 4 Vikings across the center of the map to chase what to his knowledge is a single drop. This is utterly ridiculous. Even with the knowledge of the drop, a standard move would be to send your Vikings to your natural or to the outer reaches of the sensor tower range. Sending them across the center of the map risks losing them for nothing and is unheard of at Master 2 level play." Maybe you guys just aren't there yet. Not only that, but they're heading in the perfect direction to intercept my drop, which for all he knows may have been redirected at any point in time. So let's look at this. 907.
Mineral field depleted.
Drops the scan. He sees the medevac. He literally saw the medevac. So what you're saying is he barely saw it. But he did see it. You just said it. He saw it. So yes, he saw a medevac. Even if he saw half a medevac, like a medevac chopped in half, he would still send your Vikings. So you just saw fucking medevac moving to drop. So it's utterly ridiculous to move your Vikings to intercept the drop. What are you talking about? He saw you move the medevac. He knows there's a drop coming. Why would he not move the Vikings? What? So what he does, he moves the Vikings. You even scan, and he fucking sees there's a scan. Again, he sees it. Like, you just confirmed for him, hey, I have drops coming. They're coming. Another thing I want to point out, you said that the Vikings were going straight for the medevacs, which is, again, not true. The Vikings are moving this side. If they were going straight at your medevacs, he would kill your shit here. He tries to find him. He moves up. Why didn't he just continue? His Vikings were right here. He shift queues. Actually, you almost run his Vikings, or made your medevacs into his Vikings. He's just shift queuing attacks everywhere, as you can see. So he finds your medevacs. After seeing your medevac move up, and kills it. So, I am no Master 2 player, but the worst thing you can do after seeing the medevac is A, not do anything, and 2, why would he put his Vikings here if he knows there's medevacs here, he can just try and intercept them before it. How does he know you're gonna drop to the natural? He might think like, oh, he's gonna drop here and then run in. So why would you wait here? That makes no sense. You always go to intercept the medevacs. And he was paying attention to his Vikings, so you couldn't have killed them because you could just run around with them and dodge the Marines. Unless you put them on move command and you forget about them. Again, another, like, I mean, I don't know how to explain. He saw the medevacs, he sent the Vikings, he killed your drop. Okay. Don't think that was possible luck. He literally saw it. And the medevac you were moving was boosted as well. No one boosts their medevac around their units for no reason. 932. Hold on. This is an interesting one. Let's go to 932. 932. So he sends the Vikings. He says, inexplicable. Moves his camera to where my medevacs are on the extreme right side of the map. Note, he is not selecting his Vikings and sending them there. His factory is selected, which would be strange in and of itself, since this is a command you can and should issue on the mini-map. You can and should issue. I never in my life once sent units via the minimap. I think that's a very bad thing to do, because you're not precise, you're not clicking where you want to click, and that's something I never do and I never advise anyone to do. And still, this is regarding the fact that he's sending Vikings across the map in highly unusual in and of itself. I don't see how unusual it is that he saw your medevac and he went to kill it. He simply moves his camera to where my medevacs are in the fog of war. Okay, let's see.
Research upgrade complete.
Ready to plunder. Ready to plunder.
Okay.
Ready to raise some hell.
So the
Never be harmed by an oracle. Very worker friendly.
let's see.
No workers will ever be harmed.
So
by
this
an
part
oracle.
right here, where
I
is it?
don't watch any Protoss gameplay, but I've still got your back.
So this is where you said that he looked at your medevacs, right? So first of all, the camera was here. Now let's go ahead and say this one is a suspicious one, right? But let me ask you again. I want to just ask this again. I've asked it like 5 times already. Why did he scan your third and seeing the medevac go out? Second, why is he looking at the medevacs if he already knows they're there and he's already chasing them with Vikings? Why did he turn away up? Why didn't he just continue? You're saying he knew. Why did he just not fucking continue? I agree. That was weird. For the camera to pop here, that was weird. Maybe he clicked on the minimap. Looks at the medevacs to check pathing? Dude, you're saying that he has vision of fog of war. Wait, so are you saying he can see your units on the minimap? Or he can see your units in the fog of war? Which one of those two? I'm confused. Does he see the minimap on your units or fog of war? Can we get a confirmation? You're saying both. Okay, so let me ask you this. You're saying he has a minimap hack and a fog of war. So, if the medevacs are moving from here and he can clearly see it on the minimap, then why the fuck is he also looking at it in the fog of war? Do you see how that makes no sense whatsoever? To check the pathing? But he sees it on the minimap! What do you mean? Now, are you saying he can select your units and see the pathing as well? How can he see your... They're moving from here to fucking here. He can see it on the minimap as well. He can't click on your medevacs to see the pathing of them. What are you talking about? That... Anyway. 942 changes path of his Vikings to hunt down my medevacs. So, you're saying that at 942 he changed the path to hunt down his medevacs. But why didn't you mention that at 929 he changed the path to not hunt down your medevacs? So, again, his Vikings were going this way. So why didn't you mention that he deliberately changes the path to miss your medevacs that are right fucking here? Like, this is one of the worst hacker accusations I've seen. But let's call it this part was weird. Let's just give it. Okay, let's just say that was weird. Is he map hacking? But that was weird. 1012 scans my army at this one is a funny one. Scans my army at the 3rd again. This is what happens. Ready? You scanned him. You scanned him here. He still has a Hellion here. The only possible location you can attack through is this side, which has sensor tower, and this side, which he doesn't have sensor tower. Okay, let's look at his vision. What is he doing? He sees a couple of Marauders, and then he's like, let me just check the 3rd to see if the army is there or these Marauders are gathering up like here. He scans the 3rd, he sees your army once again, and he's like, okay, cool, I'm not getting attacked. That's nice. 1018. Scans my main base as I'm preparing my air transition. At this point, this seems like a troll to me. At this point, it seems like a troll to me. Because... like, as a mech Terran, he's 200 supply. As a mech player, you have to know if the opponent is going Liberator so you can make Thors. By the way, your air transition is way too late. It should have happened. Like, your starport should be done already. Just saying. So he's checking if you're transitioning to Liberators, which is, again, a thing I told him like a week ago when I coached him live on stream, which you can check. All these things, the missile turrets, the Hellion movement, the Viking positioning. Literally, please go in VOD, watch it. I told him literally those same fucking things. Which I'm pretty sure 90% of this stream can confirm as well, that did watch that as well. So, now suddenly scans, like, again, why is he scanning if he knows that you're building starports? Doesn't make sense at all.
UVs are under attack.
Let's go next. What is next? 1334.
SCVs are under attack. Command center upgrade. Mineral field depleted.
I'm sorry, by the way, I'm triggered. Like, I am, like, screaming and triggered. It's just that, first of all, I don't like someone that I know being accused. And the second thing, these things are not even close to hacking. Like, not even close. This thing right here, you can say it was suspicious. But everything else is easily explainable. For any, like, give any Terran, like, call you Thermal, call Optimus, they're not gonna be like, oh shit, dude, I've never seen someone prepared for a drop with Cyclones. That is mind-blowing. No, It's very fucking common. Very common. 1334. 1334.
Base is under attack.
Let's see, what does it say? 1334. Inexplicable. With his command center selected, he screen scrolls to exactly where my army is perched at the cliff above his 5th base. It is my belief that he illegitimately saw my army on the minimap and quickly scrolled his screen to that location, thus responding to the information that he should not have in game. Alright, let's go back a little bit. See what happened. So this is Proti scanning. Oh, why didn't you mention this scan, by the way? Why did he scan here if he's hacking? He literally, he scanned nothing. Why is he scanning there? You said, and I quote, all his scans are on point, exactly on my army. So what is this scan doing here? Are you gonna say that's like a troll, like a fake scan? To you know, distract us from the truth? So, let's see. If he was hacking, again, why is his army out of position? Why does he take damage against this? Why is there only one Thor? You come in, his army is moving out, in fact. This army was moving downwards. You go in. And you lose your whole army. Okay. So your next point, what was it? He moves his army to 5th base. He just had an army there. He wanted his army to be there until he attacked here. As we just saw. So he cleans this up. Right? And then he cleans it up, so there's not going to be an attack here. He literally lost the fight. So if I was him, I maybe keep my 1 or 2 siege tanks here, and I reposition my army here until this is a planetary. He's building turrets. Again, Proti, out of position, dude. You gotta be in position with those hacks. Why is his army going upwards if he knows you're here? So you successfully get a really sick siege of positioning. And I'm guessing he just rolls you over because he's ahead in supply and he's playing mech. And you're playing bio with no metamax. Like, this was a bad engage for him, but your army is so much lower, it doesn't matter. He just rolls you over. 1439. Inexplicable. After defeating my army at his 5th, which is what we just saw, and then killing my 4th base, he immediately sends his army to his 3rd, while also moving his camera to this location with no vision of the impending attack. Okay, so you're saying that he moved this is his 3rd base, so you're saying he moved the army to his 3rd base. Sends his army back to his 3rd base. Okay, so let's look at that. 39. What army? Am I blind? What army did he move to his 3rd base at 1439? So, another piece of advice. He just killed your 4th. He saw there's 0 units. Let me actually go back a little bit. This is what happens. Ready? The army is already moving back. What army? There's no... His whole army's here. He literally has no other army. That's it. So he kills your 4th. He scans. He sees absolutely no units. And let's combine our brains together. Where can your army be? It's not at the 4th. It's not defending your bases. He has a sensor tower here. It's not here because, well, that'd be weird if your army was all the way there. It's not here because he just passed. The only place where your army can be is here. Nowhere else. So you're either doom dropping or attacking his base. There's literally no other... Where can your army be? It didn't move here because he has the vision of this path. So you can only move from this side or doom drop. That's it. So you say he moves his army back to his 3rd base. What army? These are reinforcements. There's literally no army in the 3rd. This has been his reinforcement point whole game. And he just sieged up the tanks there. He didn't move any army. Just in case you missed it, let's rewind that. Again, you said he moves his army back to his 3rd. These are the factories before your units even arrived. The waypoint did not change at all. And as you can see, 4 Thors are about to pop and 2 tanks. Let's look at them pop. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 tanks are gonna come out. There was no army moved back. His army is still attacking. Moves army and camera? What? What do you mean? I don't understand. Alright, let's look at his point of view.
Guys are exhausted.
He clicked army back, and then he decided against it.
He's under attack.
Can't hold him alone.
What am I supposed to look at? He moves... Okay, let's see. He moves the camera to the location of attack before it occurs. So let's look. He just, again, I want to point out, he just scanned. He saw there's no army. He knows your army is not on the right side. The only possible place in this game, on this map, is for your army to be on the left. And you said he looks straight at your army. Let's see. He looks at his... how's this your army? He looks at his 3rd and sees that you're scanning it. Now he sees your army. He goes back, actually. He kills your base. He goes back and then sees your army attacking, and he's like, well, I'm gonna just base trade.
Base is under attack.
And he even scans again. He's like, yeah, there's no army. He literally, he killed your 4th, and then he was going back because he saw there's no army, and then your army showed up here, and he's like, well, I'm going in base trade. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and make sure to check out one of my previous videos. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, have a very nice day, and I'll see you guys next time.